Ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready, people.
Ready as we'll ever be.
People, please welcome to episode number 288 of the CobraCast Podcast with me, your undesignated driver tonight, because I am going to be sipping on the Iron Wolf, one of our sponsors. Anyways, I'm gonna give him a nickname tonight. Anyways, this is Wes Leggend from Def Leggend, the world's greatest tribute to Def Leppard. Wes, my old buddy, are you ready?
We're ready, man.
You're listening to CobraCast.
The cobra injects deadly venom through its fangs, like toxins through a pair of hypodermics.
This is the CobraCast, and here's your host, Bobby Sharron.
Now that's an intro, Wes.
That's an intro.
You say it was good or bad. That's an intro.
Man, that's awesome.
Kevin Gutierrez over at Assembly Line Studios put that together for me about a good year and a half ago, I think, by now. So
Wow.
yeah,
Well deserved.
So how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been fucking hot year or two. It's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a
Since you've been up here. I think I've seen you out a few times, but
right.
formerly of Rock Hard,
Formerly
the,
of Rock
the
Hard.
front man, the legend from Def Legend.
From Def Leggend.
Wes Willenberg's in the house.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. You got. We were talking like a couple minutes before, after you got here, and man, your schedule is crazy with that band.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice to be busy, kind of a thing, or what?
Yeah, it's nice to be busy, seeing all the people, going to all the places.
And you're up.
Can't complain.
You're playing some big places too.
Yeah, it's been some pretty large, nice venues, large crowds. So that's exciting.
I saw there's a cover photo on your what do you call it? I'm not sure if it was on the Def Legend page or on your page on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like an arena or something.
Yeah, there's one. I think both of them actually were from Moondance, which would have been 2 years ago, coming up this July, and yeah, there was like 15,000 people there. It was
Jesus
crazy. Yeah, it was really crazy because when we started and it was daylight, I think we went on at, I don't know, I'm going to say 8:30, and then it got dark about 9 or something like that. And there was probably 200 people there, and they were like, trust me, when, the music starts, I mean, this place is out in the middle of, Minnesota, Walker, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. I mean, it's like just
Cow pastures.
woods. No, it's like
Is
woods.
this
Yeah, it's like woods. And this big RV thing that people come and bring their RV and they come hang out for the week. And, we start playing, our intro starts, and by the third, fourth song, I mean, it's like, wow, there's just nothing but people. And
So do they clear the woods out, or they have an opening for it or something?
They do have openings, but, I mean, there's just nothing there. It's not like it's next to Dallas or next to
Right.
Minneapolis where there's
I hear you on that one.
people have to drive there and have to want to be there. So they have this thing, it just goes on from Wednesday through Saturday, and they've had everybody you can imagine play it. So
15,000 though, huh?
yeah, it's about 15,000 that
Jesus.
night.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was that's something else.
You guys are pulling bigger numbers than the real Def Leppard.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
Hey,
that
guys,
was
there was a point. It was kind of going down a little slope there for a while.
yeah. But that was definitely one of the larger crowds that we had performed in front of. We had another big one in Mexico, but Yeah, Moon Dance was really cool, and we went back this past year, 2019, and we played. They have a bar room stage that's in between the main bands. They have bands like us play.
Right.
So, and that thing holds about probably 5,000 people can fit into there, all around it. And so we did that, and everybody remembered us, from the year before, and it was just awesome, to be, appreciated for all the hard work that you put into it,
Well, plus you're covering a band that everybody likes. I mean, if you don't like Def Leppard, I mean, like at least one record or one song, I mean, you know what? Something's wrong with you. I mean, because everybody's got their favorite tune, their favorite record. I mean, especially in our group,
Yeah.
There's not anybody that I've ever seen at a cover gig. Doesn't matter if you're a rocker or you're a country, or you're a cowboy or a rapper. When something comes like, Pour Some Sugar comes on me, everybody sings along, everybody gets into it. So that's like the perfect band, to have to do a tribute to,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it really is. It's perfect from that sense, but man, I tell you what, there's a lot more that goes into those songs to try to reproduce them accurately.
The harmonies and stuff.
Yes, I mean, from the harmonies to the drum sounds. I mean, it's pretty intense, and a lot of detail that we have put into it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those things that we're still putting all this into it to try to tweak it and make it better. You never become, at least in our band, we've never become, okay, we got this. This is good enough.
Right.
We're always trying to make it better.
Well, I saw you guys over at Hanover's 2. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah,
it's been a couple of years.
Geez, yeah, that was like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't even know if they have bands over there anymore.
Well, I know that they have. I know they have bands over there, but
Yeah.
But yeah, because me and my ex-girlfriend were watching it. I was like, I was really fixed on the drum sounds, because Rick Allen has that certain set us out that electronic kit.
Right.
And of course the harmonies too. Though, and that what the thing that people don't understand about Def Leppard is that everybody thinks it's like a harmony machine or something or some kind of effects box, but those that's real. That those guys really sing those harmonies.
Right.
And people just they're in awe when they see it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's you got to have some singers in your band if you're gonna pony up to try to do Def Leppard, because otherwise it's definitely going to fall short from the vocals, because I think that the drum sound and the vocals are probably the two top the important list that you got to have. So
well, you guys got the whole show down, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely come a long way. We've I guess I joined the band. Geez, like I said, this July is going to be 4 years.
God, I can't believe it's 4 years already.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember you were doing gigs with them off and on. You weren't like the original. You weren't like the main guy. Was that how it worked? I think you kind of did gigs with them here and there, and they finally asked you to join the band. Am I wrong or
no? It's I was actually before them. I was in another Def Leppard tribute, and I was with those guys for I'm going to say about 6 months, and they were also out of Dallas.
Okay.
And then, one thing led to another, and, I mean, you're kind of looking across the way, and you're, checking out, your competition or however you want to view it, you know, what's going on when you got two of the same. And so, yeah, I was like, man, I was like, those guys, they've got it, if something ever happened that there was an opportunity, I would
slip in there.
I would definitely, be ready to entertain it. And one thing happened after another, and here I am. So, and it's just been nothing but we've grown it from there.
You guys should do though. See, no, you should actually go on the road with Def Leppard, right?
Okay.
And in every town, you play the smaller places that they can't play. Like do like a 1,000-seat plays or something, you know, sort of like, because aren't you on one of the things playing like a man, I think it is you guys.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You're playing some kind of after party or something, and then Vince Neil's supposed to show up. Is that you guys?
Yeah, we are playing an after party. We're playing the Vince Neil and Steven Adler after party at Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma. That's in April. So, but no, I don't know about them showing up, but it's a really cool place to play because they have the main concert hall.
Yeah.
And so we're on stage, right? So as soon as they play their last song and people start filing out, well, then they tell us, okay, start.
Oh, wow.
And so these people come out of this big auditorium right down the steps, and here's our stage right here. So they just go like right there, and it's like it's awesome.
Madness.
Yeah, I mean when the music starts, there might be 5 people in front of the stage, and before the first song is over, it's like, wow.
Well, I saw the advertisement for it. It had Vince Neil's picture on it. It says is like Vince Neil's appearing or something. That's one reason I was.
Oh, well, maybe it's something new to me.
So, are you going to any of the shows coming up? Those big Monster Stadium dates?
Yes. I am going to Houston and San Antonio.
Yeah, I might hit the Alamo Dome. I'm kind of iffy on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an iffy situation right now. So I don't know because really we're trying to save our money for like some cool vacations and stuff. But man, these concert tickets are crazy. But we are going to the Stones. That's no matter what. The Rolling Stones.
No matter what.
No matter what, the Rolling Stones. I'm going to. So if I have to miss, are they using the whole Alamo Dome for it? Because a lot of the shows they only use half of the venue.
I really don't know. I would assume that they're.
That's a big place.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on where they set up the stage because I've seen shows there before where it would be like the stage would be on the sideline, if you want to call it that, facing that way. So if they do like an end zone stage, well then, I really don't know how they're going to do it. I've seen Motley Crue there. I've seen Aerosmith there.
They always use the corner though.
The corner?
Well, in the Alamo Dome, it's basically I want to say it's a football stadium, but it's more it's
a small football. They have games there, but it's not 80,000.
But every show I've ever seen there has been the only one show that I remember going to that they used the whole arena for was when Billy Joel and Elton John did a tour together, and they played there.
So they do like in the round or something, or
no? It was up against one of the ends.
Okay.
But for Kiss, it was like it wasn't even half of it with the reunion tour.
Mm-hmm.
Only half of it. Prince, only half of it.
Huh.
So I don't know if they're going to use the whole thing for it. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I guess it probably depends on how many tickets they sell.
But I was like, I totally got proved wrong on that whole deal because I was like, man, no one's not gonna. I mean, not arenas, but football stadiums and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. And all of a sudden, they're selling out like hotcakes.
Yeah, I mean,
they're adding double nights on, extra nights on them and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely been pretty popular. That's for sure. And the ticket prices aren't cheap. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like for me, obviously Def Leppard, but I mean, Motley Crue is my band.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what made me want to do this.
Man, I wish Karabi would come back.
I mean, not. Yeah. That's.
Love Karabi.
I mean, that's my favorite Motley album.
Oh shit!
Honestly.
I always tell everybody's got their like top 5 or top 10 records or something. When I die, if I have a coffin, I haven't decided yet. But man, if I put 10 CDs in there, that Motley album, was it Motley '94? That's going in with me.
Yeah,
it's a great record. Karabi's awesome. Anyways,
yeah, that's and he's a
really
nice
he's
down the
super
earth
nice guy. Yeah.
I mean, you would never know that he was who he is.
Yeah.
But so how do you feel about the whole? Because when the tour was announced and everybody was giving Motley all this crap about, they done did the whole retirement thing and now they're coming back and it's a money grab. But
I wasn't happy about it, man, because I was like, they really, were adamant about it. We're going to sign these papers and we're never going to tour again. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. And when they were asked about it for how long did it last? 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, this is going to be 5 years.
Yeah, because I saw them at Cedar Park Center when they played.
Yeah, that's where I saw them.
Yeah,
final show. Yeah,
the final.
I mean, I had front row the whole thing. And
that's the thing.
It was cool.
That's what people are pissed off about is because a lot of people flew in from all over the world to go see them and paid all this money and yada yada, and now all of a sudden, boom! When I heard it was a rumor that they were coming back, I'm like, they're not going to come back. They're not doing it. They're not going to do it.
Yeah,
because Vince is in bad shape these days. I mean, he's just not.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he's not the Vince of,
yeah,
89.
but and there was like there was a video of him a couple days ago, no, like a week ago, where they have this service where you can, like celebrities.
Yeah, that Cameo or whatever.
That Cameo, yeah. And he was on there like, looked the same, drunk as hell, trying to, sing happy birthday to this guy, and he was just the best. I'm like, oh man, how are they going to do this with him?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope he gets his shit together by the time it goes on, on the road, but geez, it's not looking good now.
Yeah, no, I have a feeling that they will, but
he's no Phil Collins or anything,
right. But that's that's the thing, it's like for me, having the opportunity. Honestly, I don't. I mean, now if they were just saying, retirement tour one after another, I'd be like, okay. But to me, it's like the things that rock stars don't need to talk about are, religion, politics, and retirement tours. Why? Just
well, that comes out to the Kiss thing too. I really hope that they're,
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the retirement tour
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
20 years
so
ago,
it's
yeah.
like, why is you don't even hear people even really bring it up anymore.
Yeah, because I mean, same thing with Ozzy. I think Ozzy's done.
Yeah.
Have you heard a new record yet?
No.
It's really good.
Is it good? I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I haven't heard.
Yeah, well, it's got like an all-star celebrity cast on it. I don't know who plays guitar on it, but Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses plays bass, and Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers plays drums on the whole thing. So it's like, it's a great record. Elton John does a song on it and everything, and I think for a dude that's 72 years old or whatever he is now, I mean, it's a killer record.
Yeah.
He sounds great on it. I mean, the song's really good. So I mean, it's a win-win for everybody, especially if you're an Ozzy person.
Right.
But I think he's done, man. I think for touring and stuff, he's all over.
Yeah. My very first concert was Ozzy.
Yeah.
On the No More Tours tour, 92.
You know what the deal with that was, right?
What was that?
The thing was, he was misdiagnosed. This is at the time, because I think he has Parkinson's now.
Okay.
So at the time, he was misdiagnosed for Parkinson's, and they were giving him all the wrong kind of medications and stuff. That's why we saw him on the Osbournes. He was all out of it and all dopey and stuff, because he didn't have Parkinson's at the time. So they're giving him all these Parkinson's meds, and that's why he was all goofy. So Sharron was like, you know what? Let's do a last tour, be Ozzy's last tour, no more tours, whatever, and then call it a day. Because at that point, with Parkinson's, there's no cure for it. My dad has it, and it's just a bad situation. So so that was the deal. So then when they had him, reevaluated, the doctor's like, hey, man, you don't have Parkinson's. You're just, you got a fugazi doctor that doesn't know what he's doing. And so that's when he, the whole thing kind of went away. And then, he lasted another, 20 years? I don't know how long it was. Well, actually 30, I think, right? Man, No More Tears is like, what? Shit.
Yeah, 92,
Yeah, you're talking almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
flies.
almost 30. Yeah, because that was, my senior year in high school. Man.
Jesus,
Crazy.
man. Craziness.
Yeah, so it was like with Ozzy, that was in 92, and then I think it was in 95, 96.
Did he do another one in 96?
Well, no, he did the Retirement Sucks tour where he came back. So, but
all cash grabs, dude. It's all it is.
So to me, I don't really pay too much attention to that because it's like I love the band, I love the music, and any opportunity that I have to see
him, yeah.
Because one of these days, I mean, I never got to see Freddie Mercury.
I know. I never got to see Queen either. Yeah.
Now you don't have that opportunity.
Yeah,
where, so what? I mean, I guess if people don't like it, then don't go.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people that were really pissed off about it, about the the whole thing about them signing all these documents saying that
Yeah, you had to wonder how long it was going to last because I
thought with them it was going to last. I really did because Tommy Lee hates he doesn't want to play that music anymore. I'm tired of playing the same 15, 20 songs. I want to do dance songs. He wants to do his own shit.
Yeah. But one thing to remember,
money.
The money's always undefeated.
Dude, they're saying it's they're getting 150 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Some crazy amount.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like
it's a lot of millions.
Yeah, I think $2 million a show for Crew and $1 million a show for Leopard. What was out there.
So is Motley going to be the headliner on it?
It's going to be co-headlining.
So they're going to go back and forth,
back and forth, kind of like Leopard did with Journey. which is cool, So in Houston, I think Leopard is closing, and in San Antonio, Crew is closing. So
okay.
So I saw 2 of the Leopard Journey shows, and that was cool, kind of seeing how that worked. Which one you liked better, how the crowd responded, and with the Journey tour, it was Journey Leopard was the better flow. I felt like
Journey's a great band, though.
Yeah.
Still, they're a great band.
Yeah, I mean, so many good songs, and
Talk about hits.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Nothing,
Yeah, that
nothing
was-
but hits.
right, yeah, that was a great tour. So, but yeah, Motley Crue. I mean, they don't ever do anything small. So
Yeah.
that. I mean, they're gonna have a little bit of an axe to grind and a point to prove, I think. And
Right.
so you can only hope the best for Vince.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it'll be worth the money because you have some other great bands on that bill. I think Joan Jett's on it and Poison's on
And
it also.
Poison, yeah. And then they have some, I forgot, some
they-
unknown opener, which to me makes no sense. I would rather see 30 minutes of Kicks or somebody like that than 30 minutes of Who.
Well, they're probably, it's probably a new band, and their record company or manager's, paying them a shit ton of money.
Right.
Because on the farewell tour, remember it was Alice Cooper, and they had an opening band.
Yeah, the Raskins.
Yeah.
And
So the deal with those, if you probably know the
Yeah.
story too, they paid like $1 million to play that tour, right?
right, and they threw them off or something.
Did they really?
Yeah, I mean,
We got
that
to
was
see
all-
'em.
There was a whole. Did we?
We saw them, yeah.
Okay.
I got there early for it, yeah.
Okay, well, man, I'm getting old and
Yeah.
setting in, but I
Right.
didn't remember seeing him. I remember seeing Alice Cooper, but yeah, there was something another about. I remember they didn't get paid, or they got. I don't know what it
Well,
was.
the deal was they paid, I guess Motley or whatever the tour. They paid $1 million to open up to have that slot.
Yeah.
So it's a pay to play, but
They paid Motley.
They paid-
They paid. Okay.
they paid Motley
Okay.
$1 million to have
Gotcha.
they get that whole tour.
Right.
So I don't know if they got reimbursed for part of their money back. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to
Yeah.
throw at a band just to go open up for them for nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I. Not that kind of money, but that's what I used to hear about, like with Ozfest. When they'd have all those
Yeah.
side stages that, they were paying
Yeah.
Ozfest to put them out there. Which, yeah, I mean, you're getting in front of that kind of a crowd.
Well, it was
You
the
know?
second stage. I mean, the second stage, I think the headliners got paid and everybody else was like just,
Right.
paid to get on.
Yeah.
It was all just death metal and shit.
Yeah. Ozfest had some cool ones. I remember, the first one, 97.
I went to all of them. I started going maybe, I'm going to say 2000 or 2001.
Yeah.
And I saw every single one of them up to that point. That was like first time I ever saw Slipknot. They were headlining the second stage.
Yeah, I
I'm like
remember
going,
that.
what the hell is this, man? That's
Yeah.
when they were young and vibrant and they could jump all over the place. And,
Yeah.
they were out of their minds
Yeah,
back
that
then,
was
man.
that was in 99.
Was it
man.
99?
Yeah. They had that. There was Godsmack.
My buddy Tony Park, Push Monkey, played Ozfest. He was on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
was on it for one tour. I think it was 99 he was on.
Yeah, I remember this was in San Antonio. It was at Retama Park,
Yeah, remember that?
but they didn't have the amphitheater yet. It was just the field.
That's right. I remember
you
seeing
know?
Aerosmith over at one point at that thing.
Oh,
Yeah, you would drive in, and when you
Right.
drove in, you saw the side of the stage. And
Yeah.
all the stuff was in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah,
yeah, it was cool because they had the main stage and then they had the side stage.
right.
So the main stage somebody would play, and then everybody would migrate to the second stage while they were setting up for the next band on the main stage and go back and forth. It
Yeah.
was really cool. So
Yeah, man, I don't know whatever happened to Retama.
I was asking somebody that the other day. I mean, it was like as soon as Amphitheater the 360 out there, it was like nothing was going on in San
I think it was
Antonio.
before 360 came along.
Yeah, it was.
Because I mean, they had so many great shows out there. I was really surprised to hear it was closing down. I don't know what they ever did with it. If
Yeah.
they just mowed it over or what. I have
Yeah,
no
because
clue.
I mean they finally made it not be a field anymore, and they covered the seating area. You had the
Yeah.
big hillside, and they really did it up. And I saw tons of good shows.
I mean, I must have saw 100 shows over there, Tom
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Then it was like, what is it? AT&T. It was AT&T. No, what was it called? Something. There was a Verizon wireless amphitheater.
Yeah.
Kind of, is that what it was?
Yeah, they changed it to Verizon.
And
I think.
think when another thing that maybe put a nail in its coffin was the AT&T Center was another thing that kind of killed it. So
Right.
but Sunken Gardens is still around. So
Yeah, I've seen
you
a
guys
lot
ever
of.
play that?
No, I've never played that. I've seen tons of good shows there, but
That'd be a good place for Def Legend to play.
Yeah, that would be fun, for sure. So, yeah.
Hey, so when you guys travel, do you guys do you have a bus or anything, or just
No, I mean we
just
kind of carpool together.
Really?
Somewhat. We've got a truck and trailer that hauls the gear. Our drummer does that part of it, and somebody usually jumps in the truck with him, and then, I usually, depending on where it's at, like this weekend, we went to Mississippi and went to Louisiana, to Baton Rouge and Jackson, Mississippi. So I drove up to Forney to jump in the truck with Mike, and then we drove to Jackson, Mississippi and down, and then I came back, to Forney and came home yesterday. So I had about right at 12 hours of road travel yesterday.
Lord.
So that part is a little bit brutal, but it beat the alternative. The alternative was to drive from Bastrop the whole way, by yourself, So it was like, it's a lot funner being in the truck with one of those guys for sure.
So did you ever go out for like a run? You go out for like maybe a couple of weeks at a time or something like that, or
we did last summer. We did right at 4 weeks in Minnesota. Yeah, in July.
Just in one state?
Well, we did. It was Minnesota. We did North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
Illinois. That whole.
Yeah, that whole area.
Yeah, because up there, I mean, it's like you drive from here to San Antonio, you're in another state, or
right.
Here to San Marcos, even.
Yeah, people don't understand how big Texas is. They don't get it.
Huge.
I mean, like in Connecticut, if you drive to the tip of Maine, at the top near Canada, all the way down to New Haven, Connecticut, on the coastline there. I mean, it's like from driving from here to Dallas or something. You know what I mean? You're going through like 3 or 4 states.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So people, they come down here, it's like, and they hear, I drive like, half an hour, 40 minutes to work. How long? It's like, how far away is your job? It's like, oh my God, it's crazy,
Yeah, it is. But, so like for that particular run, some of the guys took the truck and trailer, and then the rest of us flew. So.
Whoa, you get to fly, huh?
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. We do some flying too, so that's always a good time. But yeah, I mean that whole tour, I love it. You'll see these guys. We always kind of get a little bit of a laugh out of it that they're basically playing in the same city more or less, and they calling it a tour. So yeah, we always kind of use that term lightly. I mean, unless you're actually Def Leppard or somebody, you're probably not on tour.
Well, I mean, you're a band. You're still doing shows and stuff. I mean, I'm sure for those kind of places, I'm sure they lose their mind when you go up there and do that. I mean, because when I saw it, I'm like, because when you see a tribute band, I'm not saying they're all bad, but a lot of them, put in the work, and a lot of them don't. You know what I mean? You guys really put the work in when it comes to backdrops and everything.
Every aspect.
Even down to his drum kit and the rack and everything. It's just like Rick Allen's pretty much,
Right.
And, even like the costumes you guys wear, the wardrobe is all spot on. I guarantee they just lose their minds. Because I'm like, I critique everything, when I'm out at a show.
Right.
I really can't just sit back and like just kind of, not appreciate, but enjoy, the show. I'm just kind of like looking at, I'm a people person,
right?
A people watcher, you know what I mean? Just kind of be just picking out this and picking out that, and so when I saw you guys, I'm like, man, these guys really got it down. So
yeah, I mean, especially up in those parts, I mean, people really embrace and get and appreciate, what we're doing. Where some places you go, they're just, I don't know, they haven't really caught on yet, And I hate to say it, but it's like the Dallas scene compared to the Austin tribute. It's night and day. I mean, it just doesn't. It hadn't really caught on yet from the aspect of, having big crowds where there's a demand for it, where people want to actually pay for it and not expect you to come up there and play for tips and beer money, more or less.
Well, so in Dallas it's like that, or is it down here? Like here, it's down in Austin like that?
It hasn't caught on down here.
Okay.
Like it, I mean, I say it all the time. Dallas is a tribute capital of the world.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there's
I mean, there's the the best bands there. I mean, it's just there's no comparison.
But it's all tribute bands, not all tribute bands.
Well, not all tribute bands,
a
but
chunk of them, though.
it's the hotbed for tribute bands. Let's put it that way. I mean, you know, there's each town, big cities, they have, you know, their little circle of tributes, but there's just something about, I mean, once you truly wrap your mind around what a tribute band, like what you were saying with the costumes and all that, you start to appreciate it, you know, a whole nother level. Because, you know, think about it like this: if you were going to fly out to Vegas and see an Elvis show or a Michael Jackson show, or, you know, you name it, I mean, you don't want to get out there and see something that's not in your mind as to what that actual artist would have been. You know, you want to get there, and, you know, you don't want to see Humpty Dumpty out there. You know,
I know what you're talking about.
You know, it's that whole thing, and there's a lot of those bands that, and there's nothing wrong with it if going out and paying tribute to your favorite band, and not getting dressed up, not doing it to the hilt like we do. You know, that's not what I'm not trying to, you know, bang on that, but but you can't put yourself out there as one of the best or a premier or something like that and not do those things, you know. And
well, you guys are the world's greatest tribute to Def Leppard, so I mean, I'm kind of like going, man, it's a pretty hardcore moniker right there.
Yeah, it is, you know.
So you got to live up to that.
You do, you know, and like they always say, if you're going to stretch your neck out to do something, well, you better do
Don't
it.
get it chopped off,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
Hey, so have you ever like thought about doing like a, man, because I know Def Leppard does the Las Vegas residencies not all the time, but once in a while that they're over there for like a couple 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that there's some of those casinos that would just really dig on what you guys are doing and get a residency up there, you know, playing one of the rooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but, you know, you never know. I mean,
That's some really good money up there too.
Yeah,
over there.
I mean, we've played a lot of casinos, so that part isn't a problem. But yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, because you got to realize in Vegas, you know, and one of my buddies is Freddie Correa. He lives in Vegas. He's a comedian, and we were talking. He goes, "You got to realize, you know, you're not playing for the same crowd every night. No, you know, Vegas is all visitors. You know, it's all people coming and going. So you could be, you know, like the Blue Man Group or Chris Angel or whatever, you know, the big thing out there is.
Yeah,
and you're playing for a different crowd every night,
right?
You know, and like,
you know, like we mentioned, those other tributes that you know, they have of, you know, whatever it is, you know, Elvis, you know, I guess is probably the you know, the grandfather of them all.
Oh,
you know,
no kidding, yeah.
You know, they just do it night after night. But yeah, that would definitely be pretty cool to have an opportunity to do something like that.
No, yeah, because what they'll do is they'll set up a theater for you. You know, they'll deck it out for you, and you play, I don't know, a couple 2-3 weeks, or like, you know.
Right.
Once a night for, you know, a couple 2-3 weeks. I don't know how they do it, but, you know, they make a bank out there doing that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
That'd be pretty cool. So, you know, if any agents are watching and are interested,
any agents in Vegas watching right now,
yeah,
Freddie Carrillo, hey, help us out, buddy.
That's right.
That's too funny. Oh my God.
But yeah, man, you know, it's like I said, we're constantly. I mean, we're not. You can't really reinvent the wheel with this because, you know, your song selection is what it is. You know, the looks, the costumes. So what we have done recently is we've added these era shows where, and we did one in Bastrop here when we played there back in August, is we'll come out and we play the entire Pyromania album front to back. In the Pyromania, everything is that look, you know. I mean, I got the Union Jack.
Cool.
You know, look just like 1983 when you walk in. And then we'll go have a costume change, come back and do Hysteria and a few other, you know, popular hits that weren't on there. And man, people really like that too.
You know who started doing that? The band that actually started doing the whole albums was Cheap Trick.
Was that who it was?
Yeah, they came. I remember they were doing it like 20-25 years ago. They was okay. It's like, okay, we're playing in, you know, three nights here, So this night we're going to do, Lap of Luxury. This night we're going to do Live at Budokan. This night we're going to do that. So everybody would, pick their night that they wanted, or actually all three or whatever.
Right.
And I dig it, because
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a thing where you're going to play all the Hysteria, all of Pyromania, yeah, that's something I'd like to hear,
Right. Yeah, and
because those are the hits.
yeah, they
Lots
really-
of hits in those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff there because some people, we hear it all the time. They're like, oh, after Pyromania, well, I kind of got, Def Leppard went soft, or they don't like the Hysteria.
Let's Get Rocked. That kind of had to tap out for a couple of years.
Yeah, they don't like that. They like the more
Yeah, yeah.
high and dry and Pyromania, which is cool. But a band can't.
You can't rewrite. It's like write the same album over and over again.
Right.
There's no point. You know what I mean?
Do you want that? I don't want that as a fan.
No.
So yeah, it's really interesting to see what people's preference and taste are, when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, like I said, that's a kind of a specialty show that we do and offer. And then we'll go, our normal show is just, we have the modern Def Leppard look,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've got, all the stuff, down to the exact brand of clothes that Joe Elliott wears.
That's a
on
lot of
stage.
research too. I would think.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of money too.
I didn't even think about that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, because I've got the jacket that he wore in Vegas, and
Yeah.
That's a $1,200 jacket.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't even think about all that stuff.
$500 pants. I mean, it's
It's not cheap.
it's not cheap, but we don't we don't want to be a cheap product.
Yeah.
So
Killer, man.
Yeah.
So you guys are actually playing over at the Aztec Theater
The
in
Aztec-
San Antonio.
San Antonio,
How many people does that place hold?
man, that place is probably, 700-800. I'm assuming.
700-800?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe more. I don't know. I mean, I know we had
I've never been there.
right
That's
at 800 the last time we played there 2 years ago. So
Wow. So you guys are playing there Saturday, March 14th.
March the 14th.
Well, you sure? I got the 14th here.
Yeah, 14th.
Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
said the 4th. I'm like,
No. The 14th.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
It's been
there's
it's been a long week.
I think it's a Pat Benatar Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Pat Benatar.
From San Antonio. So I hear they're really good. So that's who's
That's the double bill.
that's the double bill.
So we're going to promote that one because if you want to look at all the other dates they have, which is probably, I looked at it, today, and it was like, had to be
Right.
15, 20 dates.
Yeah, and they're
like,
coming
good
in
Lord.
constantly. The phone is, luckily it's always ringing. There's always somebody reaching out. So,
That's good. As long as the check clears, right?
That's right. Yeah, we don't want that. But we've got that. And if anybody is wanting tickets for that, if you want to, direct message on Facebook, the band page, well, we'll be glad to put you on the guest list for the Aztec.
Damn.
So bring it.
You guys are generous.
Yeah.
Is it Christmas?
It's a rock and roll Christmas.
Rock and
year-round.
roll Christmas. year-round. I might have to partake in that one.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I
that's
see
a
what my schedule is.
that's a great venue though. I mean, that's
Yeah, there's a lot
San
of
Antonio is a great rock and roll town. You know?
There's a lot of good shows. A lot of there's a lot of not big comedians, but bigger comedians playing that place now, and of course rock bands. And I've heard a lot of great things about it. I've never been down there.
Yeah,
So I need to check it out.
It's definitely a great venue. It's kind of it's sort of the equivalent of your House of Blues, Dallas or Houston.
okay.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing. I guess downtown, the Paramount, that kind of of a deal. So, and I don't know. That's a really, just when you walk into it, it has that.
It's like an old school kind of theater.
Yeah, it just has a look and a you just feel something when you walk in there and you look around. It's just really cool.
The cool thing about it is now is back in the day, a lot of those places like the old theaters, whatever, the real nice ones, they didn't want rock shows in them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just for for ballets and for plays and shit. But now they're kind of, I don't know what the time frame is, but they're actually opening them up to like rock bands and to have rock shows in them now.
Right.
And that's killer to see. Like I remember I saw Queensryche down in San Antonio I can't remember what theater it was, but the theater was killer.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful theater, a lot of history, a lot of great architecture in there.
The Majestic.
The Majestic, yeah,
that's a great place.
Yeah, it was like an Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2. They did the whole first record, and then they came out, did an encore, and did the second one. But you never saw, okay, man, Ozzy Osbourne is going to come down there at the Blizzard of Oz and destroy the place or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like they never would open up for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, crazy enough, the first show I saw there was Jackal and Damn Yankees.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it was 92, 93.
At the Majestic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was very cool. And then in 99, on that Greatest Hits tour, I believe it or not, Motley Crue played there.
Yeah, they did. God, I think they did the Austin Music Hall here.
Yeah,
Was that the tour that they had like a local band got to open up?
Yeah, I think our guys and I don't know if they were called Octane 7 or
Octane. Brett McCormick's band. Yeah, they got to
Dave
do it.
Beeson and them. Yeah, that was that. But
that's when they were like in their down period there, where they're kind of playing.
Yeah, that's
smaller
when
places.
that kind of music for all those bands was kind of teeter-tottering on whether it was going to survive or not.
The nutty thing about that one was where they were supposed to originally play.
What's that?
The Back Room.
Really?
They were supposed to play the Back Room, and the only reason they didn't do it was because of Tommy Lee. Something happened where. Because at the time they weren't drawing anything. I think they were drawing the tops 600-700 people. They were really down in the dumps, And so I remember talking to, I think it was Mark that ran the Back Room, and he was saying, yeah, because they wanted to use this place for their stop in Austin. I'm like, oh, what, Motley? He goes, yeah. I said, well, why didn't you book it? He goes, well, Tommy Lee had this thing at the time, and the stage wasn't big enough to put his kid on it or something. Oh, yeah. So they had because they had these certain requirements that he needed, and that room was not big enough for that,
No.
I mean, I think the way it is now, it would be, because you've been over there, right?
To the back.
No, well, it's not. It's Emo's East now.
Man, honestly, I haven't been in there since it was the Back Room.
I'll tell you what, you go in there for a show, you're going to lose your mind. They totally gutted that place and rebuilt it. Wow. The only thing that remember that pole that used to be in the middle of the stage? That's still there.
In the middle of the stage?
No, that's not the stage, though.
Okay.
It's in front of the bar. There's a bar there now.
Oh, wow.
And the stage is on, remember when...
They have the game room side.
Yeah, but that's all torn down. It's one big room now.
Okay.
Yeah, but the ceiling's twice as high now, or 3 times as high.
Oh, wow.
It's monstrous, yeah. So they can pack a couple thousand in there at least now.
Really?
But it's a great place, man.
Man, yeah, the Back Room. God, I saw so many great bands there. And of these bands that we're talking about, I mean, from Dokken to Rat, Cinderella, I mean... Yeah, you name it, and even local bands that were hot at the time, Pariah and the Toys and
yeah. I had Shandon up here from Pariah not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
He lives over in Amsterdam now.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He's been there for a long time. So he goes over there and lives, and then he comes over here and he does he'll do some acoustic gigs or full band stuff. For a month and a half, and then I'll go back to Amsterdam.
And goes back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he made a pit stop up here to do the podcast and full vegan.
Yeah.
Full vegan.
Man, that's
loving
crazy.
his space cakes. He's all good to go. Good dude, man.
But the 90s, man, that was
that scene will never be recreated. Never.
Yeah.
It might, but not for us. I mean, but.
Right. Yeah, for me it was that place and then the old sneakers in San Antonio though.
Oh, really? Yeah. I got to play there once.
So
it was right before it closed. But yeah, I was up.
Man, I saw so many bands at that one too. Same kind of deal. Everything from Bullet Boys to Rob Halford's Fight, Steve Vai. I mean, yeah.
That place is hot.
Great White. Yeah.
The one up in Austin was really cool too. But I think.
Yeah, it was kind of upstairs. I remember seeing a winger there.
Yeah, but the one in San Antonio, it was built. I'm not sure how long after San Antonio Austin came to be. You know what I mean? Because when I first moved here in '91, the Austin one was up, and then for some weird reason it closed down and they reopened it up on 6th Street.
Yeah, I remember
for a hot minute. And we were the last band to play there. They shut it down that night.
Oh wow!
So I don't know what the deal was with the bar, but then they turned it into. I think it's like a Tejano bar now. But that Tejano bar's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the one in San Antonio. I mean, it was, man.
Everybody played there.
Mid '80s or whenever it opened, but it was so cool because you would walk in there and they would have these murals on the wall of like a band's logo or their album
when they played.
And then when they played, and if it was sold out, I mean, you could just like wander around that place. And
I remember seeing Iron Maiden there.
Iron Maiden, wow!
I remember when Iron Maiden was like at their super low point, and they didn't have
Bruce wasn't in the band.
No.
Yeah,
they had, was it Blaze Blazley or whatever his name is? He was there with them, and they played Sneakers. It was like, holy moly, yeah. But they're not playing Sneakers anymore, so good for them.
Yeah.
They're not doing bad now.
No, not too bad. But
yeah, Priest is coming back too.
Yeah.
You like that new record? Well, it's not new anymore. It's a couple years old.
Yeah, it's some good
that
stuff.
That thing's killer, man.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're working on another one right now.
Right.
Yeah. So what's going on in the Def Leppard world besides this big tour? Are they recording anything new or anything? Or
they've got a box set coming out. Well, I guess you call it a box set. It's because they did this tour last summer in Europe where they were playing Hysteria in the entirety.
Mm-hmm.
So they recorded a night in London, I believe, and so they've got that coming out and what they did in Vegas. So it's supposed to be this on CD and DVD, so you can when you get it, you can watch it and then take it in your car or whatever. And the cool thing about Vegas was they played, the structure of their set was pretty similar every night, but they had certain songs that they swapped out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you get about 30 songs that they played out there, and they played for around 2 hours. I actually went out there for that.
Did you go for one?
Yeah, I went for one show, and that was really cool.
Where was it at?
Jeez, where was that place?
It was part of one of the big places, the big casinos out there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It slips my mind. And it wasn't the Hard Rock, the Zappos Theater.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's how you say it. So yeah, that was a cool place.
Man, everything in Vegas is cool though. Man,
Yeah.
I'll tell because
it was so different because I hadn't been there since probably in the late 90s.
Oh yeah, it's a whole different. Yeah,
Everything, it
everything
changes.
changed.
Yeah, so it was like wow.
Well, they're constant. What happens is they build a casino, right, and then maybe like the Flamingo. The Flamingo's at right.
Mm-hmm.
They've knocked that thing down. No shit, maybe 6 or 7 times. And they what they do is they knock it down and they build it bigger and bigger. They want because they're all in competition with each other.
Yeah. So trying to update it and
trying to update it, make it more modern, whatever.
Right.
But you'll constantly see in construction they're going there all the time. Every time I haven't been there in it's been 3 or 4 years, and I'm sure it's changed 100.
Yeah.
Just a bunch since I've been there. They say you go once a year and something will be changed. They built a big shopping mall right across the street from, I think, Planet Hollywood, right? They were building it when we were there.
Wow.
And when I went there the last time, it was already knocked down. It was already something else. So it was just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think that's where this was in Planet Hollywood, the Zappos Theater. But I went out there in 97 and saw... The first night I saw Jane's Addiction. This was at the Aladdin Theater,
which is now Planet Hollywood.
Is it? And then the next night Motley Crue played, and then they were shutting it down. The casino part was already shut down, so it was like that was the final show there, and then they were going to demolish the thing. And
you know what? I was there. I was there. No, what happened was I was there. You said it was 97.
97.
Okay, because I went there
on the
right
Generation
after
Swine tour.
I went there right after that. It was in summer of 97. And what the deal was, they sold the Aladdin to Planet Hollywood. So when I booked my tickets for the long weekend, it said, what do you call it? I just fucking had a brain fart. The Aladdin, right?
The Aladdin.
And when I got there, it was Planet Hollywood.
Oh.
So you're walking through the hallway, you still had the Aladdin, carpet.
Okay.
So they're doing the switch over.
Yeah.
So now you go there, it's this whole big thing where they have all video screens on the outside of the place and everything.
Yeah.
They didn't knock it down; they just revamped it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that night because at the end, when they would play Anarchy in the UK, Well, they would invite people on stage, like
They
audience.
were having problems with that, weren't they? People
Yeah.
just like destroying shit.
Yeah, because that's what happened. So, like, some crazy fan, like, ran into Mick or knocked him down or whatever. So, like, Tommy Lee and the other guys, they, like, come over there and they just start, like, pummeling this guy. And, I mean, it turns into almost a riot.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so they got out of there, and, I mean, that was the end of the show. I mean, it was, like, it was crazy, man. I was like, wow. Because everybody, it was seating, but everybody, like, rushed the stage. And, I mean, because it wasn't a small place inside there, I mean, there was probably, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000 people.
Jesus.
So it wasn't like we're talking a couple hundred.
Yeah, but but that happened a lot with those guys because
on that tour in particular, it was.
Yeah, they were bringing fans up on stage, and the people are just getting crazy like almost every show. I don't know why they didn't stop it right away.
Yeah, it was. I think that was something that Nicky came up with because he was talking about, how he's like, man, when I saw Led Zeppelin, if they would have said, come up on stage, I would have been there. So, I guess he was just trying to do his
be a punk rocker kind of
be
guy.
a punk rocker kind of thing. So, but yeah, that was, man, that's crazy how that stuff just all changes and grows and modernizes. And I didn't even know where I was when I got out there. I'm like, okay, there's the Hard Rock. I remember that. I saw the Black Crowes there.
Yeah, I think Caesars is the only thing that looks the same every time you go out there. It's like it's crazy. It's the first thing I do when I go to Vegas. Is I'll go, I'll get in the hotel and I'll just take a walk up and down the whole strip, which takes like a couple 2-3 hours to do the whole thing,
Right.
But it's worth it because you're like, oh, this is all brand new to me,
Yeah, and I think they just shut the Hard Rock down.
Well,
doing
the one,
something.
The
Yeah,
one off the strip.
Yes.
Okay, because there's one on the strip now too.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, but I don't think it's a smaller version of it. I don't know. I don't think
Okay.
it's the whole.
Because right after we left Vegas, they were talking about that. People were saying because that's where a lot of the residencies used to be. I mean, the Def Leppard and the Motley Crue and the Aerosmith and all them were. I think even Guns N' Roses. And so, yeah, people were kind of bummed about it.
That's the thing. Those bands love doing those residencies because all you got to do is roll out of bed and just take the elevator down and they're there.
Yeah, it's got to be a dream. Yeah, definitely.
You seriously need to check that out though. I mean, just like try to do it every summer or something. Find a whole because look at the bands like what's Steel Panther now used to be what was the name of the band back in the day? Oh, I forget. But they had a thing like
Metal
that.
School.
Was it Metal School?
I think it might have been Metal School.
There's a couple, 2-3 of them. But one of them, there's one called I think it's called Rock School or something. It's out there.
Okay.
And they play
Yeah.
all the old 80s stuff, and it's a bunch of 80s guys. I think Velocity Lies from Slaughter plays in it, and just guys that live in Vegas now. Those 80s guys.
I have heard. Are you talking about the one in Vegas? Yeah.
Oh, it's called Rock Vault.
That's right.
Rock Vault.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those guys, or they're flying from LA or something, which is, it's not too far away, and they'll play in this band, but if they have a residency, it's like there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, that would definitely be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's good. And it's a good bank too.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure it's good money. I mean, yeah, like you said, you just go to sleep, wake up, and roll out of bed, and you're there.
Yeah, that's a dream gig right
there.
there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because we're not to the point that we have people that set up our gear. We still got to do all that stuff. So that's probably the one of the suckiest parts about being a musician.
I don't know, man. I don't think the whole technician thing, man. I don't see many bands with technicians or roadies. You can't call them roadies anymore. That's a bad.
Right.
It's a bad term now.
Yeah.
You can't call him a roadie. You got to call him a technician. How times have changed.
Yeah. Everything is politically correct.
That's the problem. I'm like so far behind with the language,
Yeah.
that I need to just get a book, just call it politically correct book. It has all the terms that I use and what I'm supposed to say.
Man.
I just can't. Do you think it's ever going to go back to like the way it was?
Man, I don't know. I wish it would. Why does everything got to be so complicated?
I know.
Why do you have to take anything that somebody says like to heart? It's like that. It's like, man,
no matter what
loosen up.
No matter what you say, you're going to offend somebody, and I don't understand that. Even with this, I don't understand how I don't get hate mail every day with this thing because we get on here and start talking some mad shit, But I like to speak the way I speak. I grew up like that. Maybe I'm ignorant on some of the stuff. I don't mean any harm by any of it,
Right.
But it's to the point now where I can't say it's the simplest stuff anymore without pissing somebody off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, man, I don't know if it's ever going to go back.
I don't know, man.
It seems like it's got to, but
Can it get any worse though? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Oh, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a band, right? And you're from Texas, and you go to California, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think they're more lenient over in California, but say you're a California band, you start touring in Texas, and you start dropping all these, slang words and stuff, and somebody's going to get pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm from the country, and was raised that way, and there's plenty of words that there was nothing meant by it that we used, but, man, I can't say them now,
I can't even say midget anymore.
Right. It's just stuff like that, I mean, you're going to offend somebody. Yeah. You're going to offend somebody, and then it's like when people get offended by, okay, well, if you're not a midget, then you're going to be a little person.
And they don't like little people either.
Then they don't like that,
I think they're called vertically challenged now. That's right. And even then they're going to be pissed off because
then you're going to have somebody that's pissed off for that.
It goes, hey, I'm challenged. I'm not challenged. I'm just small. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Right. I don't know, man. It's jeez.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I get it, man.
I just have to put a piece of duct tape on my mouth before I go out any place and just shut my mouth.
Yeah, that's why.
Not say anything.
Yeah, I get it, man. That's why I don't talk much. It's like, jeez.
Oh, speaking of, I got to drop this one. I got to thank the School of Rock Southwest in South Park Meadows had their grand opening of their School of Rock over there. And I was the MC of the whole big thing, so it was really great. We had a great time. Great bands played. They have such great teachers over there. You should see this facility. It's ridiculous. They really did this thing right. And the kids are awesome. Bob, who owns the joint, he owns one in Round Rock, South Park Meadows, and they're building one in Cedar Park. I don't know when that one's going to be open. But I'll tell you, man, these kids are so talented. It's ridiculous,
Yeah, that's awesome that they have that because, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. When
we didn't have when we were kids.
Yeah, when we were, no, it wasn't that easy. You had to figure out things the hard way and, get your lumps, so to speak.
Yeah, so now, I mean, between School of Rock and YouTube and all this social media, kids are just crazy great players,
Right. You turn on YouTube and you can look up how to play drums, guitar, whatever your favorite song, and it wasn't that way then.
So you remember how when we were kids, I mean, I know around what area, how old you are, but I remember learning, songs either off a record or off a cassette tape. So you would try to learn something, you have to rewind or put the needle back, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's a digital world, and it's all these
crazy.
lessons online. But anyways, the School of Rock in Southwest in South Park Meadows, man, they have some great teachers over there. I think 3 out of the 5 Vallejo guys teach there now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think Alex is teaching there. Actually, I think it's his baby, so he's managing it and teaching. AJ's teaching guitar there. I think Bruce Castleberry is also teaching there. Robert Wagner from Suede, he's teaching over there.
Oh.
So they got a bunch of killers.
They got some big guns over there.
They got some big guns over there, yeah. So, it's all about the kids. So it was cool. We had a good time,
awesome.
and that's that. So just want to give them a shout out and tell them thank you for having me. And that's a tough crowd. When you're an MC and you got parents and kids.
Oh.
And you can't use all your good stuff. You got to kind of go.
Yeah.
You got to really kind of censor yourself. Because I do MC a lot of shows, like rock shows and stuff, and I just let loose, and people love it because it's fun and it makes people laugh. But you got, I was using my best material, some of my lighter material.
Yeah.
Man, you could hear a pin drop.
Drop.
It's like oh,
I'm like, who am I offending now?
So I get on the mic. I'm like, I said, man, this tough crowd today. I said, this crowd needs a lot of work. They're sitting out there baking in the heat. They don't want to listen to me. It's like,
yeah,
put on the bands. Who gives a shit about you? Kind of a thing. So,
yeah, right.
You never played a gig like that, right? Where I mean, like it was just
Man, there's
pin drops or anything like that, or
there's a lot of times you've
you hit or you don't.
Yeah, you're trying to read the crowd, and especially when you go to places that you haven't played before, because like you're talking about with the language and everything like that.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what, I guess like city events, for example. When we play those places, when I first started playing them with the band, well, you kind of learn that those people, they're happy just sitting on their blanket and enjoying the music.
Right.
So to sit there and try to, in a way, chastise them to get them to come up to the stage, like it's a rock show, that's a slippery slope. So you learn that, for me anyway, personally, that when I'm performing to those type of crowds, as long as they're responding when I, ask them to cheer or to whatever it is, if they're responding, then I know they're enjoying it. It's when you give them a command or you ask them to do something
They don't do anything.
And they don't do anything and you can hear a pin drop, then those are the times where you're like,
like, let's take it home.
Yeah.
Last song.
Let's just start the next song, But
It's got to be the worst, man.
yeah, there are definitely those times, but because that, especially like when you play certain songs, that no matter where or when you play that song, people respond to it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And when people don't respond to it, it's like, all right, well, it's a tough crowd today. They didn't know what they were getting into. They didn't come for Def Leppard, that's for sure.
I mean, you would think, though, for that time period, I mean, what are the two big ones? Def Leppard and what, Bon Jovi's the other one?
I'd say Bon Jovi, yeah.
I don't even really, I mean, is there a Bon Jovi tribute out there? I haven't
Yeah,
I'm sure in Dallas there's a ton of them.
Well, I don't know about a ton, but there's Blaze of Glory, which is, I mean, they've been on the world's greatest tribute bands.
Really?
All that Access TV show.
Huh.
I mean, they're great. We've played with them several times. Matter of fact, the last time we played the Aztec, we played with them.
Yeah, I don't think we have one in town.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what all is in Austin. It's there's some stuff out there. I guess there's an AC/DC and Big Balls.
Oh yeah.
Big Balls, and then from down here.
Yeah, and Jesse's got that Tool band.
Yeah, the Tool.
Naked and Fearless.
Naked and Fearless.
Weren't you you were in a Rage band, weren't you?
Yeah, during that time when all that started up, I had we called Guerrilla Radios, a Rage Against the Machine, and then we also had Wicked Garden, which is an STP tribute. So we would go out and do an hour of at Hanover's, the old Hanover's in Pflugerville. We'd go out and do an hour of STP, go change costumes, come back and do an hour of Rage. We did that, and then we would have Naked and Fearless play with us a lot of times.
Yeah, because I remember seeing you. I think it was Round Rock Tavern or something. I think that's where I first met you.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to have been our last Rage show because our guitar player was going to move to Phoenix or New Mexico, which he ended up doing, but he ended up sticking around for another year, and we had a couple more shows. But yeah. Yeah,
because I remember. I think you played in both bands that night.
Well, I didn't play Naked and Fearless.
No. The other one. There's the Soundgarden and the Rage, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't do Soundgarden. It was I just did Rage that night.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I remember you had the dreads and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize you had the dreads on. You came over and talked to me. I'm like, hey, oh, okay.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. We played. I played in what was it, Amarillo the night before with my old Def Leppard tribute, and then had to drive all the way back.
Oh man, that's a long ride.
Yeah,
too.
that was a long haul that night.
Ooh.
To get back and play that Round Rock Tavern show.
Yeah, Jesse they just did their 5th anniversary with
yeah, I saw him talking about it. So yeah, they've been playing quite a bit down at the Dirty Dog, which we played there. As a matter of fact, our last STP and Rage show was there. We played STP, Rage, and Naked and Fearless. But
yeah, so there's a little tribute thing going on, but I've been seeing a lot more original bands coming out now.
Right.
A lot of the guys from the cover bands, they're all like doing original stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
so how's that going?
I think the bands are good. I mean, Matt from LC Rocks has Rock Holiday now.
But do people go see it?
Yeah,
I guess from that standpoint. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing with those guys is, I mean, LC Rocks has such a following, anyways. that I think, they want to check out what Matt's doing or check out what Rob's doing and, that kind of thing.
Right.
But they're a great band,
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's cool, when
they're
you
writing
can do
great songs, and they played my show in January, so did all that, and they're playing a lot of shows now. So, but what I'm saying is a lot of the cover guys, they're all
starting to
do some original stuff. I think
Yeah.
I was talking to Adrian from Rock Hard. He's actually got like an original band going now, or trying to get one off the ground or something.
Yeah.
And I know two of the guys now from Black Heart Saints are playing in Rock Hard.
Yeah.
So, of course, they got their whole deal going on and everything. So,
Yeah.
but
that's great. We get a lot of times these people that, they just start slinging hate at tribute bands, like, why don't you do something original, blah, 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 and all this. It's like, okay, well, everybody in our band has done original stuff.
Yeah. Can't get anywhere.
And some of the guys are even still doing it. It's, I don't know. I don't get it.
My thing with all that is, when I first started doing this podcast, 4 years ago or whatever, how long it's been, I had, not say a hatred for cover bands. I was just kind of over it. I was like, man, I don't understand. I really won't even go into it, but I was all about, all original bands and, very adamant about it. And I would kind of voice my opinion, which I should have shut my mouth, Well, no, because I was wrong, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it like this now. If you're a musician and you want to go play in an original band, you want to go play in a cover band, you want to go play in a tribute band, you know what? Who's to say it's bad? If people are going, people are dancing, sweating, buying drinks, the bars love it, you're having a good time, you're making some money. What's,
Right.
Me personally, it's, to me, that scene is sort of like a Groundhog Day kind of, the movie Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You wake up, it's the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And I like people that are creators when it comes down to like, hey, man, come out with a new record every year or two or something like that. But it's, you know what I mean? New stuff. I've heard, Living on a Prayer 8 million times. Bon Jovi wrote it. It's their song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to hear fresh, new stuff. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not a bad opinion. It's just the way that
Yeah.
I think. And I love when Rock Holiday is going to come out with a new record, or my buddies in 333 are going to come out with a new record, or whatever. I'm super pumped for it because it's new music that I can kind of sink my teeth into.
Right.
It's sort of like, hey, okay, you know what? AC/DC, great band, phenomenal band. And they're one of the top bands of all time. They got a new record coming out, supposedly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll be one of the first people at the store to buy it because I want something new. I want to hear something new. You know what I mean? I mean, it's same thing with like when Tool came out with something new. You know what I mean? But I mean, those scenes are what they are, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're, like I said, with what you're doing, you're more of an experience than anything else. You know what I mean? You guys got the show, got the music. You guys are great players. People know what they're gonna get.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
At least I hope so.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if you buy a ticket to Def Legend, you know what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get a Kiss show.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna get a fucking Def Leppard show.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and that's what's cool about the tribute scene is, the crowd knows what they're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's one of the things that, like what you talk about, and we were mentioning earlier, an unknown band opening up that stadium tour, there's a certain amount of people that probably want to see what that's about. But with the covers and the tribute thing, when people come out there to see it, they know what they're going to get. They don't have to sit around and go through all this stuff of hearing songs they don't know by a band they've never seen. I was thinking about it on the drive over here, and it feels like, in a sense, thinking back when I was like in my 20s and a lot younger, like you had that energy and to go out and support. You were going out all the time, it seemed like, support all those kind of bands and be into that. But then as life happens and you don't have as much time to devote to it, not that you have anything against that, you just don't have the time. I mean, there's so much stuff to try to absorb and to try to, to take in. So my one night off that I get to go see somebody, it's going to be something that I can get behind, it's going to be, my buddy's original band that I want to go support, or I want to go see this cool new tribute band that I haven't ever got to see, whatever it may be. And I think that's what a lot of people, they've spent their whole week and they want to go out and they want to have a good time, and sitting around hearing songs that they can't really dance to or have that type of a good time. It's not what they're into.
Well, that's because and I always tell the story, and you'll agree too. Is like, man, when I first moved here, if you were a cover band, you could hardly get a gig in this town.
Right.
Yeah, it was. I think they had Maggie Mays on 6th Street had cover bands on the weekends or something like that for the college kids.
Yeah, it was slim.
Yeah. So, but now it's sort of like I'm not saying it's the opposite now, but it kind of what the club owners kind of saw was, I think once the 90s died down with the original bands and 2000s came in and all the scene kind of went the way it went, that they saw what the cover bands brought, and they saw the people that they brought, and all those girls. I mean, what do? They get out there, get a little tipsy, start getting on the dance floor and sweating, and buying more drinks and.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Jesse's girl. I want to go out and dance to that one. Here comes, Josie's got a vacation far away. I'm gonna go dance to that one. It's all about bar sales. But I'll tell you what, man, a lot of those. I mean, like a band like LC Rocks, a band like Suede. Those guys. When people go see them, they know what they're gonna get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why people go see them.
Yeah. Yeah, because they want to hear.
They want to hear those songs.
They want to hear those songs. With Rock Hard, we started. When me and Rick came into the band, we were playing these places on 6th Street, Wednesday night, Thursday night for peanuts.
Yeah.
And then we worked our way up to, where it is, at this point. But it's tough. That's probably the biggest thing that I noticed. Because even back, I'm going to say it was 2007, I believe, was when I first started going to Dallas. Motley Crue tribute band was what my first experience was up there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got to know people and everything else.
Right.
And right away I realized, because after that, the guitar player from that band, he had a couple of cover bands, and I would go up and when their singer couldn't do it because their singer was in a tribute band, I would go and sub for him in the cover band. And it didn't take long to realize that, hey, they were paying cover bands a lot better up there than they were here, and it was just there was something there. There was a scene because Dallas, as you know, it's not just Dallas. There's this whole metroplex.
Oh,
there's like
it's
all
humongous,
these small cities within a city.
Oh, it's huge.
So it's there's all these different places that you can play, and it's even grown even more. And at that time, the tribute scene was. I mean, Back in Black has been around forever. They're kind of like the Godfathers, and they've really laid down the pavement for everybody else. And at that time, everything was still kind of new. With tributes.
Yeah,
it was just starting to kind of catch on, and it's taken it this amount of time. Where there's God, you can't even count how many tributes up there now, and there's just tons of good ones. And the thing about it is that, going back to these people that, that don't like tributes for whatever reason, I think that is because they think, well, they know a cover song, like, oh, well, it took me 5 minutes to learn this cover song.
Right.
And they think, well, somebody's just going out there and learning all somebody else's material and just kind of mailing it in.
Right.
But I think if they ever tried being in a tribute band, like a good one,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd be able to hang or not, because there's just so much detail. I can't even begin to tell you,
Well, first play the songs like they're written. That's always a good idea.
Oh, man. How many guitar players do we know that... Oh, it's my solo. Forget Eddie Van Halen.
That's the one thing I always say about Adrian, is every time you see Adrian play,
He's the best.
When he plays all those 80s songs, he plays all the same exact leads, all the rhythms. He plays them exactly like they're done. And I told him, I said, man, that's what people want to see.
Yeah. I mean, you can totally appreciate that because there's nothing worse than getting up there and seeing somebody who thinks that they can play the song better than Eddie Van Halen played it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. No, but no matter how cheesy like the solo is in the song, he'll play it exactly the way it is.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
And he's gotten so much better. I remember like it was before you were in the band. I saw him over at where the fuck was it? Over at Weirdos.
I remember that place. I played there once.
Yeah. And
that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean the whole band was different at the time and stuff. And I remember seeing him. And at that point, you're going back. 6, 7, 8 years. It's been a stretch.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Maybe more than that actually. But anyways, I remember seeing him going, man, it's kind of suspect over here, you know what I mean? Then I saw him like a couple, 2-3 years later. I'm like, oh my God, he's gotten so much better. You know, now he's a fantastic player now.
Yeah, no, he's great. I mean, it's.
But I mean, they're always fun to go see. You know.
Yeah. So
even though it's kind of changed a little bit, but I haven't seen the new lineup yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet either. I've seen a couple of videos, but I haven't been able to check it out live because I always seem to be busy when they're working.
You're always so pretty much your schedule's pretty heavy with this band then. You're pretty much out there like at least a couple times a week or.
Well, it's getting to that season, There's kind of a seasonal thing.
Summertime's coming up too, yeah.
Yeah, usually January and February are probably our slowest months.
Just for everybody.
Yeah, and so once March and April start happening, well, then here come all the city events. Here come all these different, events that people are wanting to have you. So basically, from March, April, all the way to December, it turns into a couple of nights a week, sometimes 3 nights a week, for sure something every weekend. There's not many complete weekends off. And when you have one of those, you're happy to enjoy it.
So the last thing you want to do is go see a band. Like I'm pretty much done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of true,
So let's hit this show again because that's why part of the reason why you're up here is to sell this fantastic show you got going over.
Yeah, sick.
Anyway, Saturday, March 14th. It starts early at 6:30, right? It said on the invite it had 6:30 to 9:30. So I don't know if that's
that
true.
might be doors or something, but I'm sure the first band probably starts at least at 7.
Okay. So, anyways, at the Aztec Theater in San Antonio, Texas, Def Leggend, the one, the only, the infamous, the world's greatest tribute to Def Leppard. What was I going to say? So, here, I know that you get this question all the time, but we'll go through this first.
Yeah.
Anyways, a Pat Benatar tribute band called Fire and Ice will be opening up the show. So, go check it out. Now, Wes was saying earlier that if you inbox them on the Def Leggend Facebook page, he can hook you up with some free tickets. So
free tickets. So
free.
So make sure you specify that you want for San Antonio because we've got some other venues that we're getting tickets to as well. So there's no confusion. But, bring it. You want to bring the whole family and all your friends. And
yeah. It's going to be killer.
It's going to be a party for sure. So if you love Def Leppard, you sure don't want to miss that.
And I've seen you guys, and I can vouch for you and say you're a great fucking band. So I mean,
Yeah. So you'll definitely get your money's worth, and when it's free, I mean,
you are the best Def Leppard tribute I've ever seen. So
really,
yeah.
I guess that's saying a lot, man. I don't know how many you've seen. Maybe one.
You're the first one I saw.
The first
I'm
one.
only kidding. I was messing with you.
Yeah.
No, but if you're going to call yourselves the world's best.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people have called you out on it. I'm sure somebody's got to say something.
Oh, there's always somebody who says something smart, but
go see the show and you can figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because you guys are really good.
Our track record speaks for itself.
Oh yeah,
so
we're all just goofing on you, but it's it's a great thing. But so here's the deal. So I think you maybe told me before, but if anybody in the actual Def Leppard ever seen you guys?
Like met us or seen us perform?
No, like seen you perform.
Not in person that I'm aware of. Although when I did meet Phil Collin after the show in Houston, I did show him some video of us, and yeah, he was cool with it. And yeah, I've met all the guys and everything. So, I mean, they definitely know about us.
They're not expecting a check or anything, are they?
Not yet. You keep wondering that. Like,
I was wondering about that.
But it's okay. Well, we're kind of a small fish when you start thinking about bands like Killer Queen, Brit Floyd.
Brit Floyd's the one. Yeah, I love that.
And I don't know. Maybe they are getting something, but
they got to be doing something, especially Brit Floyd, because
those touring bands like that's went from small clubs to where we are now. That's my, if you want to say there was an ultimate goal, or why did you get into the tribute business, or what's your goal? That would be it. To be like one of those bands where you're able to actually tour around and play, all the cities and do what they do. That's the kind of the pinnacle of a tribute, I think.
Yeah, because every time I saw Brit Floyd one time over at the Cedar Park Center, they sold it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a great show. I haven't seen it in person, but I
watched it
on
out.
TV, and it's
the one that I saw on TV was at Red Rocks.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
And I'm like going,
unbelievable.
I'm kind of going, it's like a mini version of the show, the mini version of the actual Pink Floyd show.
Yeah.
They sound just like them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, kind of going, you know what? Okay, these guys are playing these big monster places. They got to be kicking back some kind of money to Pink Floyd. The remaining members. You know what I mean?
You would think.
Got to be something.
I mean, Queen actually put together their very own tribute. They selected the people.
Yeah.
And I think it was called, let's see, was it the Ultimate Queen?
It wasn't Killer Queen, was it?
No, it wasn't Killer Queen.
Okay.
So anyway, and from that band, Mark Martel, which was the Freddie Mercury, he's going out now and he's calling it's basically a Queen tribute, and it's the Ultimate Queen celebration, I think is what he's calling it, and it's just unbelievable. He doesn't wear all the fancy clothes that Freddie. He does some of the mannerisms, but God, the voice
sounds just like him.
Yeah, I mean it's
scary.
It's really scary. I haven't seen it live yet, but that's one that I would pay to go see. I had a chance. They were playing, I think, in Tulsa. And anyway, we ended up having a show that night, and I couldn't go. But that's the closest they've been.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. But that Brit Floyd show is ridiculous. I mean, I was sitting there going, I can't believe that they're doing this. I mean, it's so great because that version of Pink Floyd that they have on stage is not ever going to play ever again. It's just not. You know what I mean? So for them to go out and do it, I'm sure that they got to be kicking some kind of money back. There's no way they can't be.
Yeah.
They got to be some kind of licensing they had to do or something.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
They had a ton of merch. There's merch all over the place in there. They did 2 sets.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking. You need to go check it out.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed if you like Pink Floyd. I mean,
yeah, that's cool.
Because they actually tickets went on sale, I think, today for the Moody Theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So. That's when you brought it up. I'm like, oh shit, I saw that thing today because I've seen them twice.
Oh wow!
And they're just, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Red Rocks one, on TV, and it was just like, wow.
But I think those kind of tribute bands, because those bands have broken up, that it's a thing where I'm just waiting for a Rush tribute to come out now because Rush is gone and Pert's gone. You know what I mean? So
they're out there.
No, but I mean an actual touring one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think you got to realize. I mean, the ages of all these people. I mean,
right. So speaking of which, what's your take on Kiss when they have all the talk about this is like the end for Gene and Paul, but they're talking about
bringing new guys in,
and continuing with Eric Singer and whoever's.
You know what? Nothing with those guys. Nothing surprises me. Nothing.
Do you think it would work at the level that it is now?
I don't think people would go see it at the level it is now.
But people would still go see it for sure.
No, but not as many.
Yeah.
If there's no Paul and there's no Gene, no one will. Not saying no one will go. They'll get people, but they'll do it on a smaller scale. They'll do it
because they were talking about. I mean, even being more extravagant. They would have maybe even 4 or 5 of them touring around at all times.
Like the Spasmatics?
Yeah.
You know Spasmatics, right?
Yeah.
That's like a touring kind of.
Yeah,
have
interchangeable
like
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know, man.
Nothing surprises me.
Nothing surprises me when it comes to those guys, especially Paul and Gene. I mean, the rest of the band, they're hired guns. They're making decent bank, those 2 other guys. Making decent bank.
Right.
But they're not making Paul and Gene money.
Yeah.
And me personally, to do it right, let them just do the tour, do the cash grab that they're doing now and call it a day and leave it alone. I mean, maybe if you want to get together, because suppose, they have the Kiss cruises. Well, someone was telling me that he's a big Kiss guy and he knows all the ins and outs of what they do and everything. And he said they're going to do 2 more Kiss cruises after this tour is over. So that's going to lead into what, 22 and 23, I guess. And then they're just going to call it. So I don't know if they're going to have younger versions take over for them. But I can't see if you had like a new Kiss, that they sound, even though if they sounded good, it would be a thing. I mean, I think 80% of the people would just not go. There's no reason to go.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if they were able to play large arenas.
And that's the thing. And so does the new Kiss make new records, or they just go out and play the old hits?
Man, they just got to play the hits. I mean, new record, that'd be a stretch.
Well, shit, the old Kiss can't come out with a new record.
Right? Yeah. So they're gonna hire these guys to do it. Yeah, I don't know, but there seems to be a market for everything. You got these people that think about all the bands out there that there's only one original member left in, and they're still touring around, calling it
fucking Foreigner.
Yeah, Foreigner, Quite Right. I mean, go down the list.
Yeah,
people they want to hear that music. There's something about that music that keeps it alive, and I don't know if it's gonna
deter anybody.
Yeah, die off or not. You kind of think about it that people our age, maybe in another 20 years, when there's not as many people that grew up with that have that attachment, then maybe, because there's who's going to keep it alive. If there's only one person of the original and he's gone, all right, Quite Right is what? So I don't know.
Well, you know that band Blackfoot? Remember Blackfoot?
Yeah.
Now, that band has 0 original music. Zero original members, right? The guitar player in Skinnerd, who is the guy that was in that band? I fucking forget his name. But anyways, he was in Blackfoot, also played in Skinnerd. And he found 5 young guys and called it, and he owns a piece of it, but they're going out as Blackfoot, and they're playing old Blackfoot material and also playing some new songs that these guys are writing now. So it's kind of like going, I don't get it. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't know if it's even still around, but it was, yeah, but I mean, there's so many members so many bands with no original members or one, you know what I mean? It's like Bullet Boys. Okay, now Bullet Boys are all,
they got the original
they're
back together.
all original now.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to
But
go.
for a while, it was only Mark touring.
It was Mark, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. I mean, Dokken. Here's another one. There's Don Dokken now, and there's no original members in it.
Right.
Foreigner's the big one. There's another one. They're making big money, and there's Mick Jones kind of pops in and out every once in a while, and they're just killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, where do you stop it? You know what I mean? Where do you?
Yeah. There's.
Excuse me. But getting back to the Kiss thing, I think that, first of all, I think a lot of people, especially when they bring their kids, it's not so much about the music; it's about the show.
Right.
Because it's like a Vegas act. I mean, if you've seen the new show, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so over the top that it's like, it's like a circus. Was that that Cirque du Soleil thing that they have in Vegas? It's like that on a major scale. So I think if they did it with all new guys, even taking Eric and what's his name out of there,
Tommy Thayer.
Tommy Thayer, excuse me.
Yeah.
Take those guys even out of it, because I mean Eric Singer's 60 years old now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So put all 4 fresh faces in there, and I mean, put on a huge show. Yeah, I'm sure some people will go see it. I don't think it'll be selling out arenas though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I think people will go see it because where do you get that? There's only one place to get that live music experience is in a a concert situation at whatever level that is. And talking about that, those bands, you'd be surprised how many people don't, they know the band, maybe they had their favorite song, maybe they had the record, all this stuff, but they have no idea who the people are, who they were, who's in it now. They've kept up with none of that. Funny stories is when we're out there playing, this Def Leppard stuff, we've had these people come up to us after the show and be like, man, I had your record when you were, in 1983 and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we're just sitting here just, You
guys laugh it off or you kind of tell them it's not
you?
Yeah,
I mean, we laugh it off. We try to let them down easy, but some of these people, they
think that you're actually Def Leppard.
Yeah, they don't get it,
That would crack me up.
They're like, do y'all still have a tour bus and all this stuff?
Tour bus?
We're like, we're a tribute band, right? But it's
you aren't those guys on TV.
Yeah. But I guess maybe it speaks for we're doing it good enough that somebody is impressed and thinks something about it. But it goes back to those people that just, I don't want to say they're clueless, but they're just not inside baseball like maybe you or I that follows it really close. It could tell you what outfit this dude wore on this tour and all this kind of stuff.
Because that's the thing. They a lot of them they hear the songs when they go to the bar. They heard the song in their car or they're driving to high school. Or they, what I mean? It's all about not so much the visual, because you got to realize these days there is no MTV, there is no VH1 for videos. I mean, people don't watch videos anymore. They really don't. Right. You can make one, but you're not going to get the spins that you did back in the 80s.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a
whole different world.
Yeah, it really is. It's wild.
But that's the thing about tribute bands. Like you will go to towns that Def Leppard won't. You know what I mean? Those little towns. You're not gonna see the big Def Leppard head to some tiny, like in the backwoods of whatever, playing a field or whatever. That's not gonna happen.
And we also have these people that come up to us after the shows and are like, we've never seen Def Leppard, never got to see them in concert.
Yeah.
We're like huge fans, and it just like, we made their night.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
We impressed them. They got what they wanted out of it.
Yeah.
And that's a good feeling. And that's, one of the reasons that you do it.
Of course, yeah.
People ask me all the time, well, do you ever get tired of playing Pour Some Sugar on Me? It's like, well, it's not going to be the song that if I go jam with a band in town, I'm going to say, hey, let's play Pour Some Sugar.
Right.
But as long as the people are enjoying it, then I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If it was to come that we play Pour Some Sugar and nobody got up and danced and nobody clapped, then I would probably want to, kill myself or something. But yeah, that's what it's about is.
Because I remember when I saw you playing some deep cuts too, which is kind of cool.
Right. We had that one. We had to play a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
And when you do that, that's when we get to play a lot of the deep cuts that people like. And then you also have those people that come to the show and are like, gonna sit there for an hour and a half to wait for Sugar to come.
Yeah. They know like 3 songs.
Yeah, they know like 3 songs, and that's fine. But we have these people all the time that really do enjoy the deep cuts, and there's always that one guy who's yelling out "Wasted" or one of those songs, and we play those from time to time. But we can't go out there and make a whole set list of those songs.
Yeah,
people just still get kind of turned off by it.
So you guys basically just kind of concentrate on like Pyromania and Hysteria and stuff, right?
Pretty much. I mean,
some of the newer stuff too, I guess.
Yeah, we mimic our set list a lot of what they have done on different tours. There's for the 90-minute show, there's probably about 3 to 4 songs that we call it, rotational slots.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of those songs, I mean, they've got to be in there. You can't not play Hysteria. You can't
Oh,
not
yeah, you
play
gotta-
Love Bites. You can't, Heartbreak, on
Well,
and
shit,
on.
I mean, Hysteria is, I mean, that whole album's just all hits.
Yeah, it's all hits.
Yeah, it's like you just have to play that, in, the whole thing and just call it not call it a day, but add stuff around it.
Yeah,
Of course,
exactly.
the Pyromania stuff too.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's what we try to do is try to mix it up and so this Saturday night we're playing at Lava Cantina up in the Colony in Dallas, and that's a place that they really want to hear. We always refer to it as the soccer mom crowd. So that okay, now I'm probably offending somebody.
No, you offended somebody.
Yeah, without fail.
It's not called Soccer Mom anymore.
Oh yeah, it's not called that. So we play.
I still call them MILF, so. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You said it, not me. So we can't go in there and play Wasted and a bunch of these type of songs. So we try to build our set list around that type of audience. When we go to San Antonio, we know that's going to be more of a rocking crowd. So we'll pull out some more stuff off of High and Dry and the more rocking songs that we enjoy playing as well. But there's just a certain amount of songs that you just can't not play. We'll play sometimes these festivals where we have to play an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's 75 minutes. You're able to get everything in there. But when you play an hour,
You got to cut some stuff out.
yeah, now you're starting to pull teeth.
You got to do like a medley.
Right. So it gets pretty intense sometimes with there, but I mean that hour set. I mean, if you're wanting to hear the hits, it's right there for you.
That's the thing with Def Leppard. It's all. I mean, that one record. I mean, well, actually, two. Well, I'm gonna say one because Hysteria had so many damn hits on it. I think every song on it was a MTV video hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pyromania had some good ones on there too. I remember seeing those guys. I don't know if I ever told you that, but the first time I saw them, I was a kid, man. I was like 12 or 13. And they opened up for Billy Squier.
Billy Squier.
Yeah, they were the opening band.
The
Opening band.
That must have been like in what?
Fucking
83 or something?
Yeah, it was.
Had to be on the Pyro.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Pyromania.
It wasn't Pyromania?
No, it was right before, the album before.
Because there was something I heard about the Billy Squier thing that they started out opening for him.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the run of Pyromania, Billy Squier was opening for Leopard.
It might have been Pyromania, but it was. I don't remember. I really don't. I was a little kid, But I remember they came out. They're just. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you call it? Joe had the hair, like the curly hair and stuff,
Right.
and Rick had two arms back then.
Yeah.
So it was
Good times.
Yeah, but I mean, they were so young. I mean, I think Rick was like 17 at the time, 18 maybe.
Yeah, he's like the youngest one in the band.
Yeah, he was.
I think he was like maybe 15 when he actually
Yeah,
joined it.
When the first record came out, he's like 15.
Right.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just phenomenal that he's, going through the accident.
And that's the thing about those guys too, is like they're a band. They didn't toss them out. You know what I mean?
No.
I always kind of gave them kudos for that.
Yeah, and I was talking to Phil Cullen about that as well. That because I saw on that tour, I saw him in San Antonio Friday night, and then we had a show Saturday night in Oklahoma, and then we had a show in Dallas Sunday night, and then I came back. This was on Labor Day weekend, and I came back Monday night to see Leopard in Houston. They'd played two shows down there, Saturday night and then the Monday night show. So I was talking to him afterwards, and I was like, man, that's the really cool thing, that seeing both of those shows and being in a band and you understand the winks and the arm nudges and it was just like you can genuinely tell that they're having a good time together on stage, and they're not just five guys up there collecting a paycheck that hate each other.
Right.
Like a lot of bands you hear about, they can't stand to even look at each other, but they get on stage to get paid. And
that's how Motley is. Yeah, they really don't like each other.
So, yeah, that was like really, really cool, and he was really appreciative that I was able to. People notice that, And,
Yeah.
And it really is. You can tell that they're having a good time up there with the energy and everything, and yeah, it's a great show. There's so many bands that you see that they just kind of stand there. They don't put
Yeah.
much effort into it anymore. And I mean, I guess if you've had an injury, or I mean, who knows what you're dealing with or what's going on.
Right.
I mean, I don't expect you to run around like you did when you were 20, but
Put some effort into it.
yeah, if you're charging me however many $100 per ticket, I want to see some action.
Move a little bit.
Yeah, you got to show me something.
Do a cartwheel. Do
Right.
something.
I mean, I see video of David Lee Roth,
Oh,
doing the,
yeah, he's not even.
But at the very least, he looks good, and he's still trying to give you a high kick and entertain you.
Yeah.
And if you want to debate the vocals and all that, he's never been known as a Steve Perry or as
he's never
a
been.
vocal phenomenon. So
Yeah, he's never been.
right,
Yeah.
but that's just it. People just want to be entertained. They want to go somewhere, and they want to feel good at what they're seeing and when they leave.
Yeah.
It's and then that's
He's
definitely
opening-
what we try to do.
He's opening for Kiss now, isn't he? David Lee Roth?
Yeah, they signed him up for the remainder of all the dates. I mean, when they come to
Wow.
Austin, he's going to be there in October, I think.
I might go just for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about it too. I mean,
I talked to his old guitar player that lives here now. He was part of the David Lee Roth band, probably like in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Anyways, I asked him to do
What was the name?
Oh God, I forget his name. I could look it up. But anyways, I suck with names. I've had a long week too. I can't. My
Right,
brain is
yeah.
like fried
Yeah,
right now.
I'm horrible with names too,
Oh, his first name is Brian.
Brian.
But anyways, yeah. So I asked him to be on the podcast, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. Though that would be something cool to have.
Yeah,
on here.
definitely.
Yeah, he played. God, he was on. He was in the band. He was in Dave's band before. Before he went back to Van Halen.
Okay.
So he's but for some reason he's living here now. So, but anyways, that would be a good one.
Yeah, and that's the thing about David Lee Roth is he is like one of those guys that his vocals may not inspire you to be a phenomenal singer,
Mm-hmm.
but if you really get to know stuff about him, like I've read his autobiography and everything, and he was. I mean, if you're a front man, who doesn't, and doing this 80s stuff, who isn't like inspired or want
Right.
to do something that he's done, But he's just like so smart with
He's a very, very intelligent guy.
right, and he puts this out there, this kind of you want to call it a fake smile and always, that persona that he has,
Yeah.
but the layers are thick, man. He's
Yeah,
not.
he was on Joe Rogan's podcast like about maybe I don't know 5-6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy is so smart and so intelligent. I
Yeah,
mean,
he speaks like 7 languages.
But I mean, it's just the way he's very good at like just describing stuff. You know what I mean? The way
Right.
he gives something a description, and the stories he has is ridiculous. The way
Right.
the way he actually kind of tells you the story. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah, there's just so much to love about that aspect, and you can
Yeah, he's a
see
great-
why he's still where he is, and people still come to see him. Because
Yeah.
they want to see that.
His name was Brian Young, by the way. I'm sorry.
Brian Young.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, he was part of the David Lee Roth band with James LaMenza and that version.
Yeah, Ray Luzier.
Yeah, Ray was the drummer on that one
Right.
too. Yeah, so he was a
Yeah,
guitar
I saw
player.
them at Stubbs actually.
Yeah, I did too. That was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that was like 99 or 2000 or
yeah,
something.
but he was the guy in that.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
he's in Austin now. So I
Yeah.
hit him up on his birthday.
Wow.
Hey man, haven't heard back from him yet. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see
that's
what
cool.
happens.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could get
I'm
him
hitting up
on.
everybody I can try to get hold of.
Right.
I'm gonna hit them all up.
That's awesome.
Hey, you
man.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't ask, well,
Well,
they say the
there-
squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Let me tell
know?
you something. Like it was so weird, man. And I'm not saying this because you're here. It was crazy because I was thinking about you about a week before you called me. I'm like, man, and I saw you had a post, not a post, but I saw you somewhere on Facebook. I'm like, man, I haven't talked to him in forever. I need to give him a call or find out what's going on.
Right.
And next thing I know, bing, here you are. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? I
Yeah.
was thinking about you.
Yeah, man, that's great.
It's just
It-
something in the universe. I don't know, kind of pulled us together on this one. I
yeah.
guess I know it's weird.
Yeah, it's just been a while, and
so it's good to catch up, man.
definitely, and I wanted to come in when I had something local to promote.
Yeah,
We haven't got to play south of Dallas that much, honestly. Everything has been there north or east or west.
You got anything coming in Austin at all? Sooner or later, maybe.
It just goes right back to what I was saying earlier. The market. I mean, we could get a gig right now in Austin, but they just don't want to pay anything. They're Austin. I mean, I'm step on toes. I don't, whatever. But when it comes to bands, they
well, you kind of have to sell tickets by yourself and promote it yourself, and
they just it's a different animal, and I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things. There's a brick wall right this way, but there's a door right here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go out the door and get everything that we want. Why do we want to keep running into the brick wall? It just so maybe it'll happen.
It's the people that have to suffer.
Yeah, it really is, and I don't know.
I mean, because you did have a good crowd at that other one that I went to. Like I said, it was a long time ago.
Right?
But you had a great crowd for it.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, and I'm sure we would have another great crowd if we came back, but we just haven't found the right venue yet that wants to have us and wants to meet on mutual ground, I guess. But there's
maybe
always
someday.
Yeah, maybe someday. So we've been fortunate enough to we've got San Antonio. We've got, I think it's April the 4th. We'll be in New Braunfels at Fra Heights over there, and then we were in Houston a couple weeks ago. So we had a couple South Central type gigs.
I mean, so you have a pretty good following everywhere you go, then, right?
Yeah, pretty good. There's places when it's our first time, like anything, it's usually always better the second time.
Oh yeah.
You got to build it.
Of course, yeah.
It's but like you said, people know what they're going to get. If they're into Def Leppard and they understand what a tribute band is,
right?
Which a lot of people, they don't really know what to expect from it, and so we welcome that. So when people come, that they're like, wow, I didn't expect this. I just expected 5 guys up there in their clothes that they wore to work, just playing some songs.
That's a lot of stuff with Austin's like that too.
Yeah, and that's cool if that's what you like to do and that's where you are with it. But where we want to go, we can't get there like that.
Right. You got the full show, full-on show.
Yeah, you got to have a wig.
Well,
you got to have a costume.
They said, get back to Kiss. It's like the Kiss bands. If you want to do that show right, you got to put a lot of money into it because you got the costume, the makeup, the stage set,
right, and that's my perfect example. We were talking about going to Vegas or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you went to go see a Kiss tribute band, and you show up and they come out looking like me and you with no costume, I mean, you're gonna be like, okay,
they're just playing Kiss music.
Yeah, they're just playing Kiss music. But
like a Kiss cover band. That's
right.
Yeah.
And that's probably there, when we were talking about calling people this and offending people earlier.
Right.
Like there's a cover band and there's a tribute band.
Right.
And call me whatever. I don't get in a in a knot about it, but there is a difference. If you want to get technical, I mean,
there is a difference.
A tribute band is what you would go to see Kiss. That's they got the look.
Right.
They got the whole 9 yards. A cover band just plays that person's other band's music. They don't worry about a look. Sometimes they don't worry about performing it verbatim, note for note even. But and then there are those ones that they're a cover band that's paying tribute to so and so. They may not dress up, but they do go the extra mile to play the music properly. The way that you hear it on your in your car and at home. And there's an appreciation for all that. And I don't dislike any of it. But
yeah, you guys are just on a different level, that's all.
Yeah, it's that whole thing, but that's how you get the bigger stages, the bigger the bigger everything,
Well,
So,
I mean,
what are you shooting for? That's. I guess that's what it comes down to. When you start something, what's your goal? Is your goal just to go out and play this band's music because you love the band and you love the music, or is it to not only do that but take it to another level so that you can travel around and play and do essentially what we do? And yeah, it's great because all the guys in the band, we're all huge fans of Def Leppard too.
That's one thing I was going to ask you is like when when a Def Leppard song comes on the radio, do you like turn it off or you kind of change the channel?
Not like you would think. There might be some people that they hate it, but
I don't say hate. Hate's a strong word, but
right.
I mean, because you're around it so much, you kind of like, oh, let's turn the channel and see if we can find something else.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on the mood, I guess, because like we were talking about, always trying to tweak things.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised. You've heard "Pour Some Sugar on Me" probably a gazillion times.
Yeah, but you didn't hear all the intricate stuff involved with it.
And each time you listen to it, there's been so many times that you'll hear something and like, geez, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
How did that get by me? You've sat there, you've studied it or whatever. There's
Right.
some little nuance.
Yeah, when they did with Mutt Lang, I mean, it was like they just put layer upon layer upon layer on stuff.
Right.
I mean, when it comes to vocals and doubling the guitar tracks and whatever else they did on it. Of course, with Rick Allen's drums, after Pyromania,
Yeah.
they kind of had to substitute all that for acoustic. I mean, for electronic drums and stuff.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. So that's what we do a lot. Like right now we're playing from in the round the Hysteria tour. They played Heartbreak a specific way,
right?
And we've been playing that song Heartbreak that way in our set, and it's gone over really well, and it's been a lot of fun to play. Where all the time before that we had played it just like the record,
Right.
just like the record into Switch. And that's a lot of fun too, but it's like I said, the songs are the songs. So whatever you can do, we'll evaluate live shows like that and see, well on this tour they did an extended version or they did something like the Heartbreak for that one is acoustic basically all the way up till the guitar solo starts, and then it's full band from there on out. So we do a lot of different things like that to try to keep it not only fresh for us,
Yeah.
but for the audience. So when you're playing places around Dallas, they come see you. If they've seen you 20 times, at some point you start to wonder, not that we play there every weekend, but
Right. Well, that's
how much,
based.
yeah, how much Def Leppard or whatever band can you absorb, before you're like, I'm sick of Def Leppard, I want to hear something else. I want to go. But there's so many other bands, and like I said, we don't play there every week.
So they pretty much have a tribute band for every band that's, up in Dallas, pretty much.
Man, there's a lot of them. There's still a few bands that aren't, but it seems like those bands are popping up as we speak, like weeds, which is cool. But you do wonder where it goes. What happens. Who knows?
Hey, in 10 years,
is it something that dies on the vine? Is it something that's even more than what we thought it could be right now? Who knows?
Hey, in 10 years or 20 years, it might be a Def Legend tribute band.
Right.
A tribute to you guys.
Yeah.
A tribute to a tribute. How awesome would that be?
No, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, so it's to get back to your question, yeah, I don't always just turn off Def Leppard if it comes on, and I probably listen to it more at home studying stuff.
Oh yeah, of course,
than people probably think.
Oh,
and I think that's what it goes back to. These other people that don't appreciate it or don't get it is that they're not sitting down at the drawing board and taking notes or
Yeah.
doing all these different things to try to. You can't, I can't be Joe Elliott. I can't sound. It just can't be him. Everybody, the
Right.
guitar player, they can't play it exactly that way, but you're constantly just trying to move the needle a little bit closer to, being a clone if you can. That's like the ultimate target.
Yeah.
And, we take a lot of pride in what we do, and, the vocals. And the crazy thing about the vocals is, and it's kind of something we pat ourselves on the back for, is that we have people a lot of times come up after the show or they'll comment something that, we're using vocal tracks. And
that's the big thing with Def Leppard was for years people were saying that about him.
Right. And I'm here to tell you that, whatever you hear from us, good, bad, or whatever, is made right there in front of your naked eyes. I mean,
Wow.
there is no vocal track. And so when people actually say that, it's sort of a compliment.
Yeah.
There's
There's a lot of people using tracks now. A lot of people.
It's crazy. And the other thing about it is that you have, we're not the only Def Leppard tribute, obviously.
Yeah,
there's other ones around the U.S. and overseas and here and there. But the ones that are using tracks, you hear that. Okay, so when people hear that, they're hearing those vocals a certain way. And
you can tell their tracks.
You can tell their tracks, but to musicians, a lot of people can't, though.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the difference. So they're hearing it, basically perfect. So then when you hear, a band like us that sings it, you almost have to compete. You're almost competing with a track.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know where I'm going.
Totally saying,
yeah. So it's like if it's a little bit less than perfect, even though we're maybe exercising our musicianship better,
right?
But in somebody's eyes, we might be falling short of the mark because it's not, dead center of a track. And these people, they'll go out there and they'll go to lengths of pulling the vocals right off of the album and pumping them through.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah. They have these things out there that, I don't know if you've seen them. They're on YouTube, and they're basically, they take all the music away and they have just the vocals, so you can hear, you can go hear Freddie sing whatever song, and there's the karaoke tracks. There's so much stuff. Even in the early days in Rock Hard, I remember using karaoke tracks for the backing stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they probably didn't want me to say that, but I know they don't do that anymore. But in the early days, it definitely was there. I didn't even know it was happening. I knew we used track, but I thought it was for, like Jump for the that kind of stuff. But then, with some of that stuff going on. But there's, like you said, tons of bands that just.
I know Kiss is using them.
Yeah.
Paul Stanley's got them big time now.
Right. So, I guess whatever you got to do, but I don't know. I don't want to go see somebody mimic singing their entire show.
There was one guy I was listening to Eddie Trunk, I don't know, about 6 months ago on his podcast, and he was saying that one of his friends bought a ticket to the Kiss show. I don't remember where it was, but he said that the guy was majorly pissed off because Paul Stanley was it was tracks all over his voice,
Mm-hmm.
and so he went back to the ticket agency and demanded his money back.
Wow.
Because it wasn't it wasn't an actual performance. It was like a lip syncing, and actually gave him his money back.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's everything out there. It's kind of like the Super Bowl halftime thing.
Oh yeah, let's all lip sync, all of it.
It's, I don't know. What would you rather have? Somebody singing and not all these dance moves.
That's what it's all about. Dancers. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's just this, try to make this major production. But I remember seeing Tom Petty on the halftime show. Did just fine for me.
Yeah. The Prince one was good.
Yeah,
too.
and the Prince. You didn't need all that stuff, and it was live. Why? I just don't know why they don't see more rock bands. I mean, you can't tell me that.
It was the big push for AC/DC for next year.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me that AC/DC, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, or Def Leppard, or somebody like that couldn't entertain the halftime thing.
Well, I think the next one's gonna be a rock band. It's gonna have to be. I mean, I mean, they've gone through all the
Right.
all the female solo artists and stuff, all the little dancers and stuff. It's getting old, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. You got. I think Jay-Z is the one that's in charge of that.
Is he really?
Yeah, that Rock Nation or whatever. I think is the one that he signed like a contract with the NFL to be the.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
we're in trouble now.
yeah, we could be in trouble for waiting for a rock band.
We're gonna be in trouble for a very long time. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Why did they put him in charge of it? Oh my God.
Who knows?
I got to do this really quick.
Go for it.
I got a spot for my sponsor, Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery. Anyways, they have a show coming up March 7th and 8th, 2020. Can you believe it's 2020, Wes? It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's fucking crazy, man. 2020. Anyways, this is the road to South by Southwest Music Showcase. Like I said, it's on March 7th and 8th. It's a 2-day affair. Anyways, on Saturday, March 7th at 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock will be the Brandon Allen Band. And at 6 to 9 will be Madam Radar. The next day, on Sunday, Thaywin Mills from 2 to 5. And this is being sponsored by Austin City Limits Radio. And it's a live remote. Be giving away South by Southwest tickets. And it is no cover. This is a no cover gig. Go check this out both days, man. They got a great distillery out there. Anyways, it's at 101 County Road 409, Spicewood, Texas. So if you're in Spicewood, go please check this out. It's a great place, great people. I mean, it's like the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory of liquor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got all flavors out there. So delicious. I'm probably gonna head out on Saturday for a little bit, go check some bands.
Yeah,
out, so.
Spicewood, that's a great area.
Yeah, it's just a really.
Yeah, I had family that lived out there, and it was awesome.
Anyways, and while you're here, brother, Saturday, March 14th, at the Aztec Theater in San Antonio, Texas, the world's greatest tribute to Def Leppard, Def Leggend, will be in the house with Fire and Ice, which is a Pat Benatar tribute band from San Antonio. And Wes came from Wes's mouth himself. If you inbox him over at the Def Leggend Facebook page,
Correct.
Brain farts all night. Anyways, if you email him over there and say, hey, man, we need tickets for the Aztec Theater show in San Antonio, he'll hook you up for free.
That's right.
For free. Not even a service charge.
Not even a service charge. All you got to do is show up.
All you got to do is show up. I mean, free. You can't get better than free.
You can't get better than free.
Unless you you staple $1 bill to the ticket and then give it to them. You know what I mean? And I doubt that's going to happen. So
no.
No.
Not from me.
Take up a collection.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
You really want to get, hey, that's the way to get people, staple $1 bill to a ticket. And,
Man,
and a free ticket.
Yeah. I saw something on Facebook, I think it was today or yesterday, that was like this. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was crazy.
Probably not.
It said that they were taking collection for money to put together some ultimate tribute band. They didn't even say what the tribute band was, but they were asking for it was like a GoFundMe type thing for up to $6,000. I'm just like, are you kidding me?
For the ultimate tribute band. I mean, what do they need the money for?
I don't know. I mean, they just showed a drum set and this stuff, and I'm just like, man, people
Was it in Austin or Dallas?
No, I think it was somebody out of San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know him, so I don't know what maybe there's some sort of backstory. I mean, we got the majority of our stuff, small things that people could grab, stolen out of our trailer here about a month ago. So that really sucked. And,
that's terrible.
Yeah, thieves suck.
There's a lot of that going on now.
Yeah.
A lot of people getting ripped off and trailers broken into and gear stolen. And
Right.
Was it insured or anything? Or?
No
insurance? Okay.
And the only thing I can figure is that these people, they must have been in a small car, because all of our large stuff, I mean, the PA, the everything, I mean, there was, man, if they would have, yeah, they could have hurt us bad. And we found this out the night before, because I went up the night before to rehearse, and we were playing Saturday night at Gas Monkey. And then that's when we discovered all this stuff. But man, if they would have stolen a couple of things there, like our rack that has all of our mics and our ear units, and it probably would have shipwrecked us for a while.
I don't understand. Because I just don't get it.
You've
man.
bought music gear. You know how expensive.
Oh, I know
like,
it is.
Like a little
even this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
This shit ain't free.
A little box. It's like 24 by 24 inches cubed. I mean, there's like over 10 grand of stuff in that.
Yeah.
And that's you know how it is. Musicians will ride a bike to the gear and put all their money in. I mean, ride a bike to the gig and put all their money in their gear.
Well, when I was putting this together, I wanted a pro halfway decent setup where I can do some cool stuff, and I'm upgrading right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's come a long way since the very first time I was in here.
I'll tell you,
I don't even recognize it.
I look at pictures now. The table's the same, and the mics are the same and stuff, but. I remember, I don't know if you remember, I was running off a laptop back in the old days.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, I had more problems with that thing, oh, God, it would just go in and out. And I mean, it was running by Wi-Fi, and this is half the time shit didn't work. And so now I got the 4K camera, and, so everything is hunky-dory in my world,
Yeah, you didn't even have the 4K whenever.
No,
I think you were about to get it the last time.
No, I was looking at a 4K forever. But I said, man, I'll just wait, wait till it comes down a little bit. So, I mean, I have the, full, what do you call it, desktop underneath and everything, that I can do 4K streaming and everything else. So, I can do a lot of great things. But like in the beginning, it's, I was barely running in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I look at it now and I'm like, how the hell did I even do it back then,
Right.
It was on a wing and a prayer every time I would roll that, put on the laptop, like, oh, please work, please work, please work. So we've come a long way.
Yeah, definitely. It's awesome in here. I mean, it's
we've done over 2 hours already. So
wow, that's crazy.
You just get to rolling, Wes, and bam, it's all done.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, there was a couple other things I was going to mention.
Go ahead, man. The floor is yours. Floor is yours.
Pull this up right here. Some cool things. We got this rock timber thing going on. Man, where is this thing at? This is up in Minnesota. And it's a 2-day deal. We're playing the first day on the Friday. It's a Friday-Saturday gig. But they got some awesome bands playing. The Friday night, they've got, we're opening the show, then Pretty Boy Floyd, LA Guns, Sweet, Warrant, Striper, and Skillet are playing that night. Yeah, and then Saturday night, there's Tora, Dangerous Toys, Kingdom Come, Last in Line, Steven Adler, Lit, Kicks, and Tom Kiefer. So this is
Where's this?
This is in Minnesota at a casino.
Damn.
At let me see if I can.
They sleep in somebody's trunk to get up there.
Right. It's it's going to be a lot of fun. Where is it?
It's almost like Rocklahoma right there.
Yeah, it is. It's in Hinckley, Minnesota, at the Grand Casino.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing ads for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
A bunch of ads for it, yeah.
Yeah, we just got on that. That's definitely one of the highlight things of the summer that we're looking forward to. But if you want to catch us in the short run, we'll be at Lava Cantina this Saturday night with our good friends Motley Mayhem open up.
Motley Mayhem.
Yep. That's going to be a show. Motley Crue, Def Leppard. So
who's opening?
Motley.
Oh man, might not be anything left after they get done.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they know how to do it, and they do it right. I mean, they come out, they kind of dress the Shout at the Devil
nice
costumes. They got a chick singer, and she's badass, and man, they do it right. And there's if you're going to be a Motley tribute in Dallas, you better do something, because I think there's like 3, maybe 4 of them. I don't know. So you got to do something to separate yourself, and they do a good job of that. And then, March the 14th, Aztec Theater.
San Antonio. Check it out, man.
Check it out.
Anyways, let's go over that one more time, and we'll get you out of here. Anyways, Saturday, March 14th. It said on the invite 6:30 to 9:30, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's probably somebody that wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure at the time. They wanted to go. They wanted to get home early.
They wanted to get us there early. Get home.
Anyways, Def Leggend with Fire and Ice, which is the Pat Benatar tribute band over at the Aztec Theater in San Antonio. Like I said, email Wes on the Def Leggend Facebook page. Tell him you want some tickets to go over to the Aztec Theater in San Antonio. They're free.
That's right.
So
we'll
just
hook you
make
up.
make sure you put down the San Antonio date because they got a lot of people asking for other dates.
Right.
And it's free.
Yeah.
You got to probably have to pay for parking or something, but
I'm sure.
you know,
I don't know the parking situation there. I'm sure it's like any other of those venues. It probably sucks.
it probably sucks. But hey, you get a free ticket to go to the show.
Right, and it's a great venue.
And it's a great venue and a great show. So I mean, for free, you can't even.
No, right.
You gotta say the word free because
yeah,
you don't hear the word free anymore.
No, I'm gonna tell you what.
You just don't.
My tickets for the stadium tour weren't free.
They weren't free.
They were far from it.
Maybe you should have a tip bucket on the stage for like your stadium ticket tour. You know,
man, it's just
It's
unreal.
to say stadium ticket money.
Right.
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
I'm surprised I haven't seen that on GoFundMe yet.
Yeah.
People like GoFundMe so I can go see
Man,
Motley
let's
Crue in the
GoFundMe
theater.
everything. I don't get it. If you see a GoFundMe by me, you know I'm in bad shape. So donate.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming
Hey,
up, man.
thanks for
You
having me.
drove all this way to come up here, man. I feel
Hey,
bad.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. This is always a great time, and
Yeah, it's been good catching up. Like I said, I haven't seen you in forever in 10 days. We have to do this more often.
yeah,
I might make it. What's that? March 14th. I'm trying to think if I got anything going
couple
on.
weeks.
I know. It's actually next Saturday.
Yeah, not this Saturday. But
Not this Saturday, but I'll be at Iron Wolf this
Right.
Saturday. So, next Saturday.
Well, come on out.
We'll see if we
man.
can round some people up and head
Yeah.
down to the Aztec.
Yeah, get
I
it.
need to check that joint out. Union Underground's playing over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, coming up here like I think it's in May or June or something.
right. Yeah,
I
they're
really wanna go
they're
down
a
and see-
great band.
Oh, no kidding. I really want to go see them. So I'm going to check the joint out. So, Wes, thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you, Bobby.
This has been
Thanks for having
awesome,
me.
man. Hey, good luck on the road, man. You guys are killing it everywhere you go, spreading the
Yeah.
Bible of Def Leppard to all the people, to all the little boys and girls all across America. God bless you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And if you want to know anything else about Def Legend, go to deflegend.com or Facebook or Instagram, and everything you need to know is right there.
Yeah, when I put up the audio episode, I'll put a link to the website on there
Awesome.
so that everybody can go there and check it out.
And don't forget your free tickets.
Free tickets.
Free.
Free. I'm telling you, the word free is just going to disappear after a while. It's not even going to be a word because nothing is free anymore. So
Yeah.
This is one time you'll hear it. Free tickets.
And it's actually free. There's no hidden anything.
There's no hidden.
You don't even have to fill out a survey and get some
Not even a
junk
survey.
email.
Not a survey. You know, not a anything.
Not anything.
Not a anything. Just a free ticket.
Just say, I want tickets and your name and how many, and
Bam.
show up with a good attitude and beer money.
All right, people. I end the podcast the same way every single time. People, please try to do the right thing because Lord knows most of you don't. And with that, we are out of here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. See you next time. Bye-bye.